Hey guys, and welcome to the highly requested tutorial on how I engage full potato mode. You'll look weird and pretty unattractive, but it really comes in handy for some looks. So let's start with blocking out brows. There's tons of methods for this, but I like the drag queen method of using a glue stick because it's super easy to remove. For this method, you're going to need a washable glue stick and a spoolie. I like to mist the glue stick with some water, then I rub it back and forth in my eyebrow so all of the hairs are fully coated. Then I use the spoolie to brush the hairs up and out so they lay as flat as possible. I apply another coat of glue, then I use the handle of the spoolie to roll it over the hairs. I find that this really flattens them down. I have pretty thin brows, so I really only need the 2 coats of glue, but you can add more layers as needed. When the glue is still slightly tacky, I powder it. Then I use an orange-based concealer to cancel out the bluish tone on my brows. If you're going to be putting a darker color of body paint over your brows, you don't have to conceal them, but I was going to be using white over them, so I did. After the concealer, I apply a final layer of powder to set it, then boom, I have no eyebrows. Now onto the key part of full potato mode, which is the bald cap. So I brush my hair back and keep it in place with some bobby pins. Then I use hairspray to tame any flyaways. If you have more hair than I do, you could either run a low ponytail out of the bottom of the bald cap or cut a small hole in the back of the bald cap for a higher ponytail. So you just put a bald cap on like a swim cap, but just make sure it's quite a bit lower than your hairline because you don't want to adhere it to your hair. A lot of my looks require no ears, so I simply glue down the bald cap as is over my ears. But if you want or need your ears exposed, you have to cut some ear holes in the bald cap. To do this properly, you cut really thin little arches out where your ears are, and they need to be angled towards your mouth, not vertical or horizontal. Also, it's best to cut smaller holes than you think you'll need because you can always trim more off. A lot of bald caps come with spirit gum as an adhesive, but spirit gum really isn't that strong of an adhesive, especially under tension like a bald cap has. So I use ProsAide, which is a water-based adhesive. I simply apply it to my skin where the bald cap will be. ProsAide is most effective when it's clear and has dried down a bit, so I use a hairdryer to speed up the process. Once my bald cap is glued down everywhere, I like to conceal the edge a bit. For this, I use liquid latex and just stipple a few layers right on the edge. Disclaimer about latex: before using it on yourself or anyone else for the first time, do a patch test on the wrist or inner arm, and if irritation, redness, or a rash occurs, do not proceed with use. Also, as far as my bald caps go, I get really cheap ones on eBay that come in multi-packs since I go through bald caps like crazy, but my favorite bald caps are the Wuchi by Cinema Secrets ones. However, the bald caps I use aren't good for something that's going to be viewed from every angle because they kind of pucker in the back, but they're just fine for me since my looks are only seen from the front. I'll put some different bald cap links in the description. Once the latex is dry, I powder it so it's not tacky. Congratulations, you have made it to my end screen. Click that top link to watch my ender tutorial where you can see this bald cap in action. Or click that bottom link to check out a video that YouTube's robots think you'll like. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single video from me in the future, click that little circle with my face in it to subscribe.